You thought you were living in a free world, that your choices were your own, that voting mattered, that markets were natural, and governments were built to protect you. But let's be honest, this world isn't run by presidents or ministers. It's not about laws. This world belongs to 13 families. You know the names: Rothschild, Rockefeller, DuPont, Morgan, Oppenheimer, Vanderbilt. They don't appear in the news, they don't sell you products, they write the rules of the game. Banks, wars, medicine, trends. None of it is random. It's architecture. They're not just rich. They are the editors of your reality. You were born into a system they designed. From childhood, they painted a world you were meant to believe in. And you believed it. Because you never noticed. You were already inside the simulation. Everything you see is just a stage. The real strings are behind the curtain. They don't pass laws, and they build the entire game board. And if you think this is a conspiracy theory, that's exactly what they wanted you to think. You watch the news. The Prime Minister declared. The President responded. The Senate voted. Now strip away all the names. Forget the titles. Ask yourself one question. Why does the world follow the same script? Why do all countries have the same crises, the same vaccines, the same wars, the same enemies? Why does every moment of calm get followed by a new fear? Because it's not chaos, it's a plan. Governments are not players. They're part of the stage. Lights, camera, actors, and behind the scenes are those who never show their face. They hold no office. They are not elected, because they are the ones who do the choosing. The Federal Reserve doesn't report to any bank. It is the bank. They print money when they want, create recessions when they need. They design conflicts and sell weapons to both sides. They don't need to be on screen. They control the teleprompter. You get angry at politicians. They planned that. You fight with your neighbor. Also planned. You argue in the comments. They smile. Because while you're surviving, they're still coding reality. Have you heard these names? Have you seen these logos? BlackRock, Vanguard, JP Morgan. You might have assumed they were just wealthy families or corporations, but they are the pinnacle of an ancient clan. Their wealth is not money. Their power is not political. Their strength is access to the code of reality. These families didn't build businesses, they built the matrix, a field where everything else is programmed. They didn't simply acquire media, they decided what would be called truth. They didn't just control banks, they invented the concept of money itself. They didn't just wage wars, they created ideas people are willing to die for. Do you even think they're human? Their consciousness transcends the physical body. Some vanished from public view decades ago, yet they still govern using proxy avatars. They don't obey laws, they write them. Every disaster, every global crisis, every shift in values, it's not a bug. It's a patch to the system. Another update designed to keep people from ever seeing the real architecture. They don't want chaos. They need controlled chaos. They need you to fear, argue, live minimally. So you never realize that you are a creator. While you play your role, they remain outside the game. While you're surviving, they rewrite the rules. Maybe you imagine secret rituals or hidden chambers, but their methods are more elegant. They don't control people, they control perception. Their principal instrument is meaning. They implant it in your consciousness. What a successful person looks like. What a normal life requires. Marriage, job, mortgage, pension. How you must react when you're afraid. What it means to be a good person. They embedded these templates into fairy tales, movies, textbooks, lore. And what's most insidious about your parents, teachers, and friends? Have you ever wondered why, everywhere in the world, children follow the same path? Why they're taught to think the same way, to fear the same things, to believe, to suffer? Because it's easier to manage a matrix when everyone plays by the same code. They don't forbid your dreams, they gift you dreams that serve their system. You think you want an iPhone, a house, freedom, but these desires were embedded in you. You didn't choose to want them. They don't make laws, they create needs, around which laws are shaped. They don't hide. They appear on Forbes covers, speak at summits about climate and humanity. They are the main actors in the show called The World. And you, the viewer, think you're free. But you wear their clothes, work for their corporations, and play by their rules. The first thing you must understand: this is not a conspiracy targeted at you personally. It's a code, a program, an algorithm that works as long as you're in it. You don't need to fight. You don't have to shout truth at the sleeping. You don't need to convince your parents, friends, or boss. You just need to exit the game, silently, consciously, calmly. Curious how it looks in real life? You begin to notice, not fight, but observe that it's not yours. You stop reacting to provocations. You stop feeling responsible for other people's goals. You remove the labels: successful, good, normal. You stop acting on their code. In that moment, the system loses interest in you. You become invisible to the matrix, not by disappearing, but by ceasing to be its battery. You gain your own source of energy. You start creating your reality. You see the world as architecture and become the architect. Yes, you will lose people. Yes, they will call you strange. But you will feel it. For the first time, you are not playing someone else's role. You are simply living. You exist. You may not believe in conspiracies, but you've surely noticed the symbols: pyramids, all-seeing eyes, Masonic icons, pentacles, on money, in logos, in films, in shows. This is not coincidence. It's their language. The language of those who write the code of reality. They don't hide. It's quite the opposite. They expose everything because they know a sleeping person doesn't ask questions. He just consumes. He wears a t-shirt bearing a symbol that controls his fate and thinks it's just style. Have you ever wondered why entertainment is an industry? Why news is a stream of fear? Why your attention is always busy? Because symbols are commands. They embed themselves in your subconscious. They trigger programs. They manipulate choices. If you don't read this language, it reads you. You don't need to be afraid. You need to awaken. Open your eyes. Think money gives power. Power is attention. Your attention, it's what they control. Every day you give away your attention to news, conflicts, hype, ads, scandals, other lives. And you do so without noticing you're part of someone else's game. You are the player with no joystick. You are the battery in their system. But attention is your energy, your intention, your strength. And they want to steal it. Why do the richest families own media, streaming platforms, social networks? Because through them, they buy your soul. Not with money, but with emotions, focus, attention. While you watch, you're hypnotized. While you argue, you lose yourself. While you participate, you lose your freedom. Understand this. Every time you react, you lose part of yourself. Every time you cling to what isn't yours, you forget why you're here. But you can regain control right now. Stop. Ask yourself, where is my attention flowing? If you didn't choose it, someone did. You don't have to be a viewer. You can become the director, not of their show, but of your life. Power is not control over others. Power is mastery of your attention. When you choose what you watch, read, think, you're no longer a pawn. You become code, architect, original file. Stop engaging in other people's games. Don't react. Don't argue in the comments. Don't debate their rules. Just don't be there. Ask yourself simply, where is my focus leaking to? If it's not bringing you freedom, you're still trapped. Remember this. If they cannot control your emotions, they cannot control you. If you stop giving attention, their world falls apart. You are awareness. You are the observer. You are the force that remembers itself. And when you choose silence, their noise becomes meaningless. When you choose presence, their illusions dissolve. When you choose yourself, their power ends. Thank you for feeling this path. You are not alone. You are part of something greater. If you want to know more about exiting the matrix and reclaiming your inner power, stay here. The awakening continues. See you in the next video, and remember, You are not a viewer. You are code. You are a spark.